So today I'm at Sproul State Forest, North Central PA, north of State College, kind of, and Russell P. Letterman Wild area. And we're doing Chuck Keiper Trail today. It is, you can't really see it too well on this particular map, but it's basically, it's like a big figure eight. West side and east side. We're doing the 30-mile west side. There's a 20-mile east side also. We're doing 3 days, 2 nights. There's 6 of us. We got myself, some dude Ethan, Becky, her boyfriend Cody, and Emma J and Tammy. So last chance to use the toilet right there. And nice and foggy today. Temperature is good for hiking though, so slight chance of rain, but should be all right. I think everybody's just about ready. Okay, we're following Orange Blazes, crossing the road, roughly a mile from the parking lot. It was a very poorly marked Blazes. Right as soon as we left the parking lot, we had to cross the road up there. The trail actually made a right into the woods as soon as we crossed the road, but the Blazes led us to believe that we were supposed to keep going down a dirt road, and that was incorrect. So we went about a quarter mile before Becky thought we should turn around. So found the trail and headed back over into these woods. Well, so far the song of the day is the B-52's Rome, which I heard yesterday actually on the radio, because I came up here. I had to work late last night, so rather than go home and take a nap, I decided to drive up and take a nap at the rest area near Du Bois, and then wake up in the morning, grab some McDonald's, and get up here to the trailhead. So I was at the trailhead real early this morning. I'm trying to keep an eye out where I'm putting my hiking poles. Rattlesnakes are pretty abundant here. Although I don't know that they would necessarily be too active today, but the sun, as cloudy as it is, with no sun out. And but I read online that the nearest town to here is called Renovo. Supposedly they have the largest stock of rattlesnake anti-venom in Pennsylvania. So they must have quite a few cases of rattlesnake bites around this area. So I'm trying to be cautious. But there was those 2 people ahead of us, so hopefully they scared anything away. Although I do want to see a bear running away from me.
Yeah, right up.
This is at the end of our snack break. We get this big hill. It's just pretty much straight up. Hopefully that's a switch back up there, hopefully. This just follows straight up this ravine. Okay, finally made it to the top of that climb. I'll have to put the stats in the description of what the climb, the elevation and distance. But now we're in this really open area up here. Flattens out for about a half a mile, and we got a downhill, then another even bigger uphill than what we just did, and the downhill into camp. We are at about almost 6 miles right now. 2 Branch Trail.
Parallel for a while, and then I can cut over if it's down that way.
Like you go that way or go this way? Is that what you think?
What do you think?
This is not the easiest of trails to follow here. Faded orange markers, but it's pretty obvious where the trail is. There's some stuff like that you gotta deal with. There's some stream crossings where you're gonna get your feet wet, especially if it's high water. And a bit overgrown. Pretty narrow in spots. That is pretty nice. They got, wow. Good water access, table, huge fire pit, chairs. This is sweet. Plenty of hammock trees. Okay, I think we're just about to start the climb, and we have this nice waterfall to get us started. Okay, we finally finished that climb. We're on a level area now. This is really cool out here. All kinds of camping possibilities. That's pretty fresh too. Well, we are side hilling again. Turn I first heard about a week ago. Basically, this path is cut out of this hillside and it's tilted toward the downhill side, making walking on it very difficult. Side hilling. Okay, at camp night one, I got water gravity filtering. It's a bit of a task to get down to the water. There's a big creek down there, Yost Creek, I believe. I got food line hung right over there. This is my setup. Not the best. It's very, very rocky ground. It's hard to get a stake into the ground. And I got a bunch of rocks, jagged rocks right underneath me. So hopefully I don't fall out. Fire going. I'm starting dinner right now while I'm finishing up some of these other chores. And that's it for now. Okay, 9:15 in the morning. Morning 2. Finished packing up. Here's my trees. Everybody's ready to go. Fire's out. I got 70 degrees on the Zippo gauge. It is, I think I said 9:15. And went to bed around 11 last night. And let's see what else. A little bit of rain this morning, but it wasn't nothing terrible. And yeah, it should be a good day, easy day. Yesterday I was showing 13.8 miles yesterday, so we'll see. A little bit different than some other people's GPSs, but they had 12 point something. I don't know what's right. Nothing like side hilling first thing in the morning on the edge of this cliff, or edge of the giant hillside, with all these leaves on the trail, making it nice and difficult. Song of the day, for day 2. Driving and Crying, Fly Me Courageous. It was in our set list way back in the day. That is Keiper Fork Trail across the stream. There is a stream coming down into the main creek. Okay, that Keiper Fork that I just saw leads up to this. Got this campsite here. And these big waterfalls. Pretty nice. This should be the first of 2 waterfalls we're going to see within the next half an hour. But I believe this is called Yost Run Falls. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Alright, I need pictures here. And moving on from Yost Run Falls, hopefully this path stays just like this for a while. This is nice and flat and not rocky. and kind of pine needle-y, if that's a word. Okay, we just left Yost Falls and come across this cabin. We saw one just like this yesterday, later in the day yesterday. I don't know if they're rentals or private cabins. Somebody's name on it, so I guess it's a private cabin. But they got firewood. It'd be pretty sweet if you could rent one. Outhouse. So the trail follows this driveway, I guess, dirt road that leads down to that cabin. Which reminds me of a story I wish I had the GoPro on for yesterday. We were hiking down that one dirt road yesterday. Somebody was car camping back there, and looked like a couple. The woman was completely butt naked, just right out in the campsite. She looked over and saw us coming. She ran behind the tent and ducked in the back door. Okay, just still working on this where the trail follows this dirt road from the cabin at the bottom. And there's this cabin here, bigger one, this Bloom Hunting Lodge. So I guess you can lease it. I don't know. See what their temperature says. They got 62, which is probably more accurate than my Zippo gauge. I wanted to sit down over here on this swing, but there's a bunch of ant nests all around the cement. So I'm gonna sit down and wait for everybody else to get up there. I guess that's an outhouse over there. This is pretty big. Alright, so we started the day right here at camp. Came down here to Waterfalls. We're at the second cabin. Our campsite for tonight is over here. So we gotta do. We're taking a break at the parking lot. We should see another cabin, and we got a pretty decent walk over to camp, and I can't even tell what that is. Might be a parking lot. I can't tell. Okay, we're at the parking lot, and things are not looking so great. I was hoping there'd be a porta-john over here, and I don't see one. And I should have went out at that cabin, one of those two cabins. There's another cabin coming up. Hopefully I'll have an outhouse there. I don't feel like digging a hole right now. Okay, Eddie Lick Loop to the horse road. Pretty sweet over there. I don't know. Tin camp. Hopefully on the other side of this building there's an outhouse. We just took a break on the back porch, lunch break. Got the shoes off there, the feet out a bit, and used the outhouse back there. And it looks like the trail's going to continue down there. Yeah, I see orange places. Ethan bailed out up there at the parking lot. We are at the parking lot up there, which for future reference has no outhouse or no porta-john. Yeah, he couldn't. This trail was just too much for him, and this was his first backpacking trip. So he's trying to hitchhike back to his car, which is about 6 miles down the main road. And I know he was asking somebody at the parking lot for a ride. So hopefully he gets a ride back, and hopefully it didn't sour him too much on that whole backpacking thing, because this is a tough trail to be your first one. So whatever that mess is supposed to be, it blazes on that tree. Camp right there. I guess we're going down here. Bridge. This is the first bridge that I've seen the entire trail. There's the campsite we've been looking for. We're going to go, we're not camping, we're just going to take a break over there. So, best way to get over there is right here, maybe. Okay, this is pretty nice. The chairs around the fire ring right by the bridge, so that's where this campsite is. this log to set your gear on or sit on or whatever. Nice. We are definitely on an old railroad grade now. It drops off on both sides. There's these humps every 2 feet where the ties used to be. And how straight this is. There's supposed to be something to see coming up in the next mile. On the map there is a camera. Okay, honestly, my first thought when we passed that big group of people back there with the backpacks taking a break was Becky asked them which way they're going. They're going the same way as us, and my first thought was we got to beat them to camp because that's too big of a group. And they're going to take up all the good campsites. Plus, they got that two dogs. One's a Great Dane, the other one's kind of a barker. So, if they are at the same campsite as us, they said they weren't sure. But hopefully, those dogs aren't going to bark all night long while we're trying to sleep. Not the anti-dog or nothing, but I'm just hoping they're not barking. I guess it is kind of a view. The mountain out there. Yeah, I was looking for like a Minister Creek overlook or something.
I'd say that's a different.
Oh, that's the overlook. It's this the birch tree section is actually more interesting scenery than the overlook or whatever they had the camera marked on the map. So we have arrived. Campsite's over there, one here. There's a campsite over there that I can see. If we get across the creek, I'm taking my shoes off. I'm not soaking my shoes again. Just when they're starting to slightly get dry.
You going to that site right there?
You want to just cross? Well, I think if we cross, we might be able to like check out a couple sites and see what's over there. So I got my sit pad on this rock here, and pulling off the feet, and this is completely freezing water. You can't have your feet in that water. Whatever this is, 5 seconds. It looks like that's the setup there. We got their hammocks there. There's me. Probably gonna go tarpless. Tarpless tonight. That's not supposed to rain. So we came down that hillside into camp. We saw this campsite, and I saw one that looked like a campsite down there. So we walked down to check that out before we decided. There was no fire ring down there though, so we would have had to build a fire ring. It was a little swampy. There was a little still standing water behind the campsite. So came back and chose this site here. We weren't here more than 5 minutes before those people with the dogs came down the hill. I don't know how they were walking so fast with those dogs, because we were moving pretty good. So they went up the hillside up there. I thought they were looking for another campsite. Didn't know if they thought they were on the trail, which continues over there, the main trail. And they crossed the stream down there a little while later, so I don't know what they're doing. So what time is it? It is fireball o'clock. Drank a half of this last night, half tonight. Got a fire going over here. And it's set up. Food bags are hung. It's just chill time now. I do have the tarp strung up, but it's not supposed to rain. Just in case it does start, I can just deploy it real quick. But plus it gives me an extra place to hang some stuff to dry. So that is camp. Way better camp tonight than we had last night. This is like 1,000 times better. Water is easily accessible. Real easy to find a place to hang a food bag. And yeah, everything's good. Okay, it's about 9:45. According to Zippo gauge here, it is 60 degrees. Turning in, obviously, for the night. Last one up. Mary Jo and Tammy never made it to camp, so I think they must have bailed too. I don't know. Anyways, right before I was about to go to sleep, or to get into the hammock, I heard a big crash. So I went to go check on the food bags. They were cool. Then I look over in the woods and I see a light, a single headlamp headed this way. There was somebody out night hiking. And they were doing a pretty decent pace. See, they looked over at the camp and kept on going up the hill. They took a break near the top of the hill and then they kept going. So, yeah, I don't know. Not necessarily the trail that I would want to night hike on. It was pretty rocky, pretty steep, especially where they stopped to take a break at. And anyways, that's it. We're going to call it a night. Okay, it's morning, day 3. Closing in on 7:30 in the morning. The Zippo gauge says that it is 60 degrees. I don't know how much I trust that thing anymore. Might be a piece of gear to replace. So, here's the view from the hammock in the morning. Yeah, like I said, Zippo gauge says 60. I think it's a bit colder than that, but I haven't got out of the coach yet. Stayed perfectly comfortable last night. Real good night's sleep. I don't know what the plan is today. It might be a shortcut we can take back to the car if it's there. We don't know. I guess we'll kind of wing it when we get there. Here was one more thing that I did. So I had my liner socks hanging up here just in case I needed to wear them overnight. My feet were warm though. So I just came up with, take the liner socks, stuff them inside my shirt for a few minutes while I'm laying here. Warm them up before I put them in these shoes, which, let's see, they still feel a little bit damp from day one. So, I don't know. Okay, so this is where I found my food last night. I did see a better branch over there because this one's kind of lowish. But, we do have an abundance of stuff in there because everybody was putting their garbage in one bag and the bag broke and the only thing we had was just a huge bag to put the garbage in, and I'm the one that got stuck with all the garbage. So I went to dump it out somewhere, but I couldn't find a garbage can. Okay, there's the fully packed morning 3. Not much room. It's only the second bridge crossing. 2 bridges. Alright, so we just cut off trail. Come up and check out what looked like a cave, and basically just a big hole in the rocks. Pretty cool. 2.8 miles. We are right here at something on the Dex run, I can't tell. Trail goes over there onto Weaver Trail. On the Weaver Trail, that's the first water source I've seen in a couple of miles anyways. So Weaver Trail was basically a mile long. It's another cabin. And I guess we're going to get onto Swamp Branch Trail now, part of the Chuck Keiper Trail.
1.35 miles to this so-called Swamp Branch intersection.
What, with that road you're talking about going back? The shortcut road?
Yeah.
You said 1.3?
1.35.
Alright, so I have to keep an eye out for that. It's just so fast out here how much land there is. This has been very easy hiking here. this section flat, wide open. There's this Hess trail over here. I don't see anything that looks like a trail. There's no trail over there. I don't know what they're doing. Okay, this morning for some reason I woke up with Peace Sells from Megadeth in my head. Then that's changed. So the official song of the day I've been had in my head most of the day is Under Pressure, Queen and David Bowie. Which is weird because yesterday, for a few minutes yesterday, I had Bohemian Rhapsody stuck in my head. So day 3, the official song is Under Pressure. Pretty nice bridge. Yeah, definitely getting water here. I hope this is the trail.
I see a blaze here. Right to your right.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, crap. Look at this mess.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the road that we're looking for? If it's like that muddy, do you think we should do it? Let me go over here. This may be the road that we're looking for. Bunch of frogs over here. This may be the road that we're looking for. It goes back towards the parking lot. You want to try it? Okay. Alright, we gotta work our way around this. One section anyway. Okay, so here's the deal. This dirt road right by the bridge here. We're going to assume that it's the road we're looking for. The trail, Chuck Keiper continues to the right down the road. We're going to try to do this as a shortcut. Hopefully this is the right thing, because my the All Trails map is showing that the road just kind of stops before where we're at. But it should be, if it continued, the road continued like it should, this should be the correct road. So we'll see. The first time in the whole trip I've been in the back of the pack.
Keep right there too.
So we got bear tracks right here. There's another one here. Look pretty fresh, huh?
Mm-hmm.
There's one right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cabin. Just up the road from the last one. Another nice cabin. This is the hunting camp. Obviously, we're taking the road back to the car. We've been off Chuck Keiper Trail for about half a mile now since that bridge crossing, and a really nice cabin. All right, we're at 7.3 miles for the day. So I'll do the math later once we get back to the car. This is the point we turned around at on day 1, so I want to figure out how far we accidentally walked. It's a nice, pretty decent view. Okay, it's 7.6 miles. So that was 3/10 of a mile that we accidentally walked on day 1 because this told us this was poorly marked. And the trail continues over there where it's even more poorly marked. Where is the trail over there? I see a blaze, but no trail.
Yeah, I saw blazes, but nothing.
does that section now and walk up this damn road.
Don't see another blaze there.
I don't see nothing. Looks like a trail though.
Could have done a little bit better right here. Right at the beginning of the trail. Very easy to not know where you're going.
Pretty alright, but
Yeah, it's not too bad.
they didn't chop some of them trees down.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty decent. Best view we've seen in the past 3 days. By far. I don't know that we were in that valley. We were over that direction. We were over there and around that way. So I'm not sure if we were in that valley or not. Sure felt like we climbed up some of those hills though. Pretty nice. Okay, so wrapping things up here. Here's where we're at right now, the starting and ending point. We came down this trail to start off. Well, first of all, let me just say, the trail itself, I would not do again. I would not recommend this trail if you're a beginner. I would not recommend this trail if you're looking for scenery. There's really nothing to see except for these 2 waterfalls right here. And we ended up with 50% of our crew that we left with. We ended up back here at the back at the parking lot. Because we got to the halfway point, this other parking lot down here, and that's where Ethan bailed. And we found out later that what's her name, Mary Jo and Tammy also got a ride up the road to their car back to the parking lot. So here's what we did. Like I said, day 1 we came down here, and I don't know why this camera's here because there's nothing to see. We came down about what did I just figure it was? 0.3 of a mile. We ended up going the wrong way because of the poorly blazed trail. There were sections that were good, that were decently blazed. There were sections of the trail that were just terribly blazed, or you had like old faded orange in the wrong spot. You got 2 different orange trails. The blowdowns were another issue. I don't know how many trees we had to climb over, under, go around. It was ridiculous. So anyways, we went counterclockwise. Here's day 1. We came down here, camped here. This campsite is not great at all. There's 2 fire rings. One was decent for tent camping. The other one we got stuck at was just terrible. I mean, there was trees for hammocks, but getting to the water, getting to the creek was just ridiculously difficult to get water. Day 2, we came up this way, past these cabins. At the parking lot is where Ethan split from us, and Mary Jo and Tammy were way behind us. So we were just planning on meeting them at camp. We kept on going. We camped here night 2, really nice campsite. And then day 3, we were coming up here. The plan was to continue the Chuck Keiper back to the car, but we were so wiped out, we took this old road up here back to the parking lot. So I forget what I had, 13 point something day 1, 12 point something day 2, 7.6 today. It was roughly 33, right around 33 miles. What we did. This camera, there's nothing to see. This camera, nothing to see. This camera, there's nothing to see. There's nothing to see on the whole trail, pretty much. We saw no wildlife, no elk, no bear, fortunately no rattlesnakes. We did see bear tracks. We saw bear poop, and which was real close to camp. The first night's camp was the bear poop. And that's it. I think Cody said he saw some elk tracks down by these cabins, but he was behind me. I must have missed it. But yeah, that's it. So I gotta wrap it up. The closest McDonald's is way too far away, so I got a ways to go to get my cheeseburger, french fries, large Coke. So I gotta hit the road.